Hi everyone. Welcome back to another Call of Duty Ghosts. And in this video, this is gonna be some tips on how to get better at Call of Duty games in general. So, number one, chasing. Number one. So, like, for example, if you are face to face with an enemy, it is very important that you have protection between you and your opponent. Always use objects such as a corner of a wall or a vehicle or a pretty much anything that you can hide behind it defend yourself. Tip 2. If you ever see an enemy trying to shoot you but flees away, do not chase after them. Do never ever chase after the enemy, because if you do that, what they're trying to do is that they are trying to lure you in. They are trying to lure you to their teammates. So if you're ever going face to face with an opponent, and if they just give up, do not chase them. Let them go.
That's when you kill them.
Let them go, and move on with someone else. Never ever chase after your enemy if they run. My next advice: you want to make sure that you don't want to stay in the same place. You don't want to stay in the same area for too long. And what I mean by that is, for example, let's say I was standing in this spot for a really long time. That is not a good idea, because an enemy is gonna. You never know if an enemy is gonna come up, and you never know if they're just gonna if you ever come face to face with an enemy, sort of like hand-to-hand combat, you'll want to act pretty fast, because if you don't, then they are gonna get the first strike. So always make sure that try and try to take the first act. Next is when there are multiple enemies surrounding you. What you do is that do not run. Do not run. Do not turn your back. Instead, fire your weapon at a few enemies, and if you're near a barrier, try to get there as quickly as possible. Because you never know if they are gonna. You never know if they're gonna jump out at you and start stabbing you. So you always want to make sure, you always want to be aware of that. So never ever follow your enemies. To never ever like chase after them. Try to strike first if you can. And those are some simple and easy tips on how to get better at Call of Duty games. And also another thing, and I also find this very important. Always reload your weapon after every few kills. Because if you don't, then you're gonna be reloading when you're being attacked, and they could just come up to you and just take you down easily. So always make sure that you reload after every few shots. So always keep your guard up, and never ever try to run away. Try to stay near a barrier if you can, but dip between yourself and your opponent. If not, then try to strike first. Yeah, so never ever chase after your enemies, because they are just gonna be. Because I gotta tell you, what they try to do is that they try to make that is what they want. They are trying to get you to chase after them, but when you do that, they're just gonna lead you to their teammates to where you're just surrounded.
You already established that, so
fuck you.
And got it.
So always make sure that. And never try to. Let's see. Am I missing anything else? You know what? I think those are all the tips that I got for you all. So I will let you enjoy the rest of this gameplay.